Interpreting demand curves. The demand curve. The demand curve expresses the desires of the consumer, but understanding the demand curve is important for all producers of goods. In agriculture, a farmer can use this information to determine which crops are most in demand and at what prices they can be sold. Shifting the demand curve. According to the law of demand, when the price of an item declines, the quantity sold goes up. At lower prices, more customers will buy more of the product, so the quantity sold will increase. The demand curve shows how the quantity sold will shift under a given set of conditions. The demand curve shows how the quantity sold changes as price changes. However, many other factors will change the quantity sold. While graphs of quantity sold versus each of those conditions could be made, that would be impractical, and many conditions may change at the same time. Instead, other changes are reflected by shifting the demand curve. Changes in price move us along the demand curve. Changes in other conditions shift the demand curve. Demand. Factors other than price that impact the quantity sold include, but are not limited to, the number of potential buyers, the available income of potential buyers, local taste and preferences, the price and desirability of alternative competitive products, sales of complementary products, timing and availability of the product, expectations of future use or need. All these factors and many others work together to create the demand curve, which then reflects the impact of the price on demand. The demand curve. The demand curve can shift due to many of the factors, including those on the previous slide. The demand curve reflects the conditions in effect at the time. What could cause the upward shift shown here? There are many possible reasons. Discuss what some of them might be. What could cause the shift shown here? Some causes could be an alternative product becomes unavailable, so consumers switch to this one. Local incomes rise, and people are willing to spend more. This item is a component of a product which is in high demand. What could cause the downward shift shown here? There are many possible reasons. Discuss what some of them might be. What could cause the shift shown here? Some causes could be an alternative product becomes more fashionable, there is an economic downturn, and discretionary income drops. The local population declines. Remember, changes in the price of a product are reflected in movement along the demand curve, or schedule, since a different quantity sold is indicated for each price. Changes in other conditions which affect demand are reflected in shifts in the demand curve, or schedule, as those affect the quantity sold at each price. Elasticity of demand. The elasticity of demand is a reflection of how much the quantity sold will change based on price. If a product is needed, its demand is inelastic. For example, if there's only one source of clean water, people will buy it almost regardless of price. It has an inelastic demand curve. If a product is less needed, its demand will be more elastic. For example, if there are many types of soft drinks available, if the price of one brand goes up, its sales will decline since consumers can switch to another brand. It has an elastic demand curve. Inelastic demand curves are steep since changes in price result in small changes in the quantity sold. People need to buy the product almost regardless of price. Elastic demand curves are not steep since small changes in price result in large changes in sales. People can do without the product if its price goes up and buy more if its price goes down.